G'day everyone, I've been messing around with the Zen on mouse and keyboard recently. In this video, I'm going to run through some of my settings, show you how you can download and import my mouse and keyboard settings into your Zen Studio, and also a couple of other things that you will need to know. Let's get into it. And the first thing I want to run through is some mouse settings here. I'm using a Logitech G703 for this one. If you have another brand of mouse, you probably got some sort of software like this. For Logitech, it's Logitech G Hub. That's what I'm using here. What you need to do is go into that one. Make sure you're going to choose the mouse that you're going to be using with the Zen. So this one here is what I've got. And you're going to need to put that DPI up. Also, for PC, you need to make sure that the polling rate here is on 1000. For console, it's 250, I believe, and 4000 DPI. But for PC, we're going to go 1000 for the polling rate. And then for DPI, I found it most comfortable at 14,000. So I tested out 20,000 as well. That was a bit too crazy. So 14,000 turned out to be the sweet spot for me. If you don't have a mouse that goes that high, only goes to 10,000, then obviously try that out. If you've got a half decent mouse, you should be able to go a bit higher. And like I said, 14,000 worked out to be the sweet spot for me. I've this set up so the way the sensitivity is like when I play mouse and keyboard. So obviously, you might play a different mouse and keyboard sensitivity to me, so this might feel a little bit off. But either way, if you've been wanting to try the Zen with mouse and keyboard, this is going to be a good head start for you. Next, you'll need to download my mouse and keyboard settings that'll go into Zen Studio. To do that, I've uploaded those to Mediafire, so there'll be a link in the description of this video. Click on the Mediafire link, it'll bring you to a website just like this. You click the download part, there'll probably be some pop-up bullshit, but that's not because of me. But either way, it downloads as a ZMK file, so it'll either go to your downloads folder or your desktop, whatever you have it set up as. Now, what you want to do from there is go to the Zen Studio. Make sure you've got your Zen plugged into your PC. Now, you want to come to the M&K settings tab, and you want to come to the import layout part you can see at the top right here. You want to click that one, it'll open this window. You want to change this part here. If it's not already, you want to click this, and you want to change this to MK Zen layout files. And then to find the one that you just downloaded. So for me, there you go, it's in the downloads folder. That's probably where yours will be too. You double click that one, it'll probably, it's already there, but for you, it'll probably say loading or, whatever it says, and everything will change. Now, a couple of things I'll point out from here is that the sensitivity, this part here is going to be pretty important. So if you load these settings up, you jump into Warzone, you start testing it out. If it feels like the sensitivity is way too quick for you, what you're going to do is you're going to come in here and you're going to turn this sensitivity part down. You also need to make sure that you turn the ADS sensitivity down as well. So your hip and the ADS, they're two different parts. You need to make sure that if you're changing the sensitivity on them, that you change it on the other one as well and keep those matched. Now, my button layout that I've got here, everything's mapped out to how I like it, to how I usually play on mouse and keyboard. So obviously, if you use maybe a different button when you're playing mouse and keyboard, and I've got that set to something different on here, you're going to need to come in and change that. It's quite easy to do. You just need to double click on the one that you want to change. So for example, I wanted to click B, but I pressed Y instead, which is the one that I played up with. So I want to have that on 4, so I would go and press 4, and there we go. Quite easy. Now, there is some other settings here as well. So if you click on the secondary part here, there's other buttons that you can press that will send that same button signal through the Zen. So to keep it simple, right, when you're playing on a controller, that's what happens when you're using the Zen with mouse and keyboard. The game still thinks you're on controller, right? So if you think about it, when you're plating up, you need to hold Y or triangle, and that'll make you plate up. And then if you want to change weapons, you need to tap Y. So on here, what we've got is I've got the primary Y. I've got that on 4. So if I hold 4 on the keyboard, that's going to make me plate up as usual when I play on mouse and keyboard without the Zen. But on the secondary, I've got Y also on mouse wheel down. So the scroll wheel on my mouse, once I scroll that one down, that also changes my weapons as well. So don't think with this setup, you're going to have to keep tapping 4 to change your weapon and use that to plate up as well. I've got it set up so you can use the scroll wheel to change your weapons and 4 to plate up, which is just how I use it when I'm playing mouse and keyboard without the Zen. Again, if yours is different, you just need to come in here and change. After you've adjusted those settings and everything, you need to make sure you click this one down here, and that'll save everything to that device. On the auxiliary part of the mouse and keyboard part here, which is this one here, AUX1, you can see I'll just change this one right here. I've also got this set up. The sensitivity is rammed all the way up, and it activates when you hold left shift or when you press left shift. It's deactivated when you press it again. What this is for is because when you're using the Zen with mouse and keyboard, when you're parachuting, the sensitivity is really slow. It's pretty bad. So I've got this here for if you want to use it when you're parachuting. You press the left shift button and it'll boost the sensitivity pretty much. So it's easier for you to look around when you're parachuting. And then once you want to turn that off again, you just press left shift again. Or you can change it to whatever button you want. Just, again, double click on it and press whatever button on the keyboard you want to use. Okay, now for the script, when I'm using this, you're probably thinking I'm using a Taylor Drift script, but I'm not. I found that using the Taylor Drift script, it's fantastic for controller, but I didn't really like it on mouse and keyboard. The aim assist is really strong, too strong that when I would get my aim onto sort of the aim assist box, I just found it hard to move my mouse a lot to sort of get it on the enemy or keep it on them. But with the standard aim assist that's in the game and using a little bit of sticky aim as well and a little bit of anti-recoil, this is completely broken. You really don't need to be using, you can if you want to, try it out, try a Taylor Drift script, try whatever you like. But in all honesty, I just made a script using Excalibur Zen scripted tool, and all it has on it is sticky aim and anti-recoil. So I'll show you here a Scottish Tryhard, the competitor, and Wayno M&K. So it's sticky aim. I'll pop that one on. I use a time of 20 and a size of 1. And then over on the anti-recoil, I have that on and I use a vertical value of 20. And that's it. That's everything that's on the script here. Back out, that all saves, and I'm all good to go, good to play. Now, you can either use the Excalibur Zen scripted tool and make one on your own if you like to. I've done videos on that in the past. I'll link one of those in the description, or I'll also leave a link in the description to this one that I've got here. So this Wayno M&K one that I've made, if you don't want to use the Excalibur Zen scripted tool, just look in the description, look for the script download, and go and download it like I did with the mouse and keyboard profile. Now let's have a look at some of the in-game settings here. So these are quite important as well. You need to go to controller, obviously. Again, when you're using the Zen on mouse and keyboard, I'm sure most of you are aware, but some aren't. The game still thinks that you're on controller. That's the whole point. So you need to change your controller settings in here. Now, left and right stick input dead zone, I've got that on 0.10 each, max 0.99. Now, both horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity need to be on 20 as high as it can go. ADS sensitivity multiplier, put that on 1. Now, you also need to change your aim response curve type to linear, whatever the fuck you say it, tomato. And then also aim assist standard and scale aim assist with FOV. I've got that enabled. I did see in Glozin's video, he had that disabled. So that's just personal preference, I suppose. I've been going absolutely fine with it enabled. Have it disabled, that's up to you. But that's how I've got mine. Again, pretty important, so make sure you copy most of these, or all of them, really. And there we go. So that's everything I wanted to go through for this video. Now I'm going to leave you with some clips of me using the Zen with mouse and keyboard and using it just how I mentioned before. Just a little bit anti-recoil, some sticky aim, that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask those in the comments. But if the question involves something like, oh, I'm plugging my mouse in or keyboard in and it's not working, what do I do? I honestly have no idea. I plugged mine into the Zen and it worked fine. So when it comes to it not work, I don't know, unplug it, plug it back in. I have no idea. There's also a complete mouse and keyboard guide on the Chronosen website. I'll leave a link to that in the description as well. But still ask some questions. I'll do my best to answer them. Either way, cheers for watching. I'll see you next time.
Propio correlón. Uy.
Requesting recon.
Resurgence has been turned on. Safe zone. Gas is closing in. Allied
Bro, Higgs.
enemy dropping.
On the safe zone.
Yeah, one is.
I'm taking fire!
I'm moving.
Down.
Top 10, nice.
Specialist.
Wow,
Okay.
I wax.
Got a target.
Enemy teams.
Fucking hell.
To bring them back to the action faster. Hostile dropping into the area. Hunt the enemies before they
Bro. Ah, seriously?
Meet up here.
I was watching the other stairs, but
You've got gas moving in.
friends above.
Jammer in your
I'm
area.
taking fire.
Enemy hunter dropping this train. Safe.
Another one there.
I'm landing down on you guys.
Enemy UAV active. Get to the new safe zone. Gas is closing in.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy.
My job is to offload their cash reserves. I'd be able to ambush them. Enemy UAV back. Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Fire here.
I'm dead. Maybe not.
UAV is out of fuel.
I got hit from behind.
Thermite out.
Got one down over here on me. This same over here. This red.
There's one behind us.
Another team in.
Don't take your chances. Reserve.
Oh my god, there's two of you.
Gas is inbound. Marking new sector.
Oh man, I have to reload.
Oh, there it is.
Oh fuck, my shot's here. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
Bring them back to the action faster. Enemy dropping into the AO.
How many times I gotta hit that dude?
Squad member is redeployed.
Fucking hell, everyone turn your rapid fire on.
Oh, another guy. Look at this guy. Look at him.
Another one there.
I'm moving. If you need something, talk
Dig your own grave at this point, brother. There.
They're on me.
There. One down in the graveyard. He's
Dropping into the AO. Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Grenade out.
They're over there. I'm about to load out.
Wait, he's broken. He's broken that one.
Mercenary.
Oh. One right here in his tent, I think.
Oh, definitely.
Guy got me from the boat in the cove. Behind the boat in the cove. Sniper.
I need recon on my position.
What in here? What the fuck?
UAV giving fire. Airstrike active.
He's right. Whoops. Right here.
UAV is out of fuel. Turning for
Fuck, I'm out of
gas is
AR, man.
overhead. New safe zone highlighted.
Alright.
Fire sale is active.
Can't see this. Oh my god.
Got one shot. Two on the other ground.
You shot him.
Man.
Fire sale done. Back to north.
42 meters this way.
Watch the skies.
No. That's... Oh fuck. That guy's not
Thermite out.
There's people coming up from the top of us now.
You got this.
Oh, you fucking. Oh, in front of me.
In front of us.
AT mine set. Grenade out.
Oh, it's right here. Oh shit. Yeah.
Good shit, boys.
Let's go.
Thought you had my back.